Alright, so I'm going to make a video with this brand new, never been out of the box Origin. We're going to compare shot count for anybody interested with the EPT system in and out. We're going to air it up and shoot it down over the chronograph and remove the EPT system and do it again and see what the difference is in the shot count. There it is. This one's probably going to end up being a 30 caliber. I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet, but this one might end up being a 30 caliber. So I might as well experiment with it before we take it apart. Cut everything off it and get it aired up. Look at that. There's something my first one didn't have. Warning, do not disassemble. You can get it printed on the bottom of the air tube. My first one didn't have that. I can't help but think maybe Umarex has been watching me. Alright, so let's see if we can take it up to around 3,000 PSI. Alright, that's probably close to exactly 3,000 as I can get. We'll get the chronograph set up, grab some pellets and see what happens. Alright, so we got the rifle set up. We got the chronograph set up. And started a new shot string. We have got 4 magazines of the Crosman 14.3s. And looks like I need to give it a little squirt of air. We'll get the camera set up on the gauge and get started. Alright, first magazine in. EPT system still in. Let's do it. Alright, first magazine down, second magazine. That's pretty close to 2,000. We'll give it one more just for good measure. Alright, so that is 3,000 down to 2,000 with the EPT system in. And I really wasn't counting shots in the last magazine, but if you can see it, I got 3 left. So it looks like we got 17 shots with the EPT system in. So I guess now I'm going to take it inside and make a video showing how to get the EPT system degassed and remove it, for anybody that wants to, that is. And we'll bring it back out and do this again. It's probably going to be dark, but I've got lights on the chronograph. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you the chronograph numbers. Alright, so you know we don't have it detuned. These are all factory settings. I haven't changed anything, hammer spring or anything on it. And we're going to review it. His last shot was 1,005. 16 shots total. "17 shots, I'm sorry." Alright, we'll start a new shot string and try this again. Alright, so as you can see, it's still got the 2,000 psi in it that I ended my first shot string with. And I have already taken out the little plug that goes in here, right? All it is a little grub screw, a set screw. Nothing to it. It is metric. I forget what size it is. Looks like it is a 4mm. Alright, so you can take this thing out. Nothing happens when you take this out. Nothing. Alright. Then I took the shank of a small drill bit and made this. That thing is 55 thousandths of an inch diameter and a 1/4 inch long, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to degas the gun first with the degassing screw right there. Alright, the brass valve that's in here is going to go all the way down the tube, and it's going to stop right here at the bottom of the tube where it meets the receiver, right? So then there's going to be pressure in this side, not this side. This is where your gun uses the air to shoot. This is for the EPT system down here, right? So we're going to degas it, and then we're going to degas the other side, the EPT system, right? I don't know if you can hear the pinging, but that's the EPT valve sliding back down. It's kind of grabby. And that's all of it. Go ahead and tighten that back up. this is going to be tedious, so you're probably not going to get it on camera. I've got to put this little pin down in a hole, a very tiny hole, down in the bottom of here. There it is. You're not going to be able to see it, I don't guess. Anyway, now we're going to put the screw back in. We'll take our 4mm. We're just going to give it a little snug. Alright, let's remove the pin. Alright, so I found the hidden screw. I removed this cover from my other one. I couldn't stand it. This one's not long for this world either. Anyway, I found the third screw. Had forgotten about that. So the stock's off. We're going to take out the one grub screw. It's supposed to have everything locked in with the barrel band. You guys can't see that probably. There's a little tiny piece of, looks like nylon. I don't think it's bell ring. But anyway, I just lost it. Anyway, it's a little tiny ball. And it goes in that little gap right there. After this is on, you drop it in, put the screw in, and when you tighten the screw down, that little piece of plastic is supposed to go in there and wedge between the barrel shroud and the air tube and hold everything in place. And I know some guys are having a lot of problem with this thing twisting, being able to flex side to side. Anyway, that little piece of plastic, as small and weak as it is supposed to take care of that. Whether it does or not, I don't know, but it's supposed to take care of it. Probably wouldn't hurt. I know I did this with one of the guns I've got. I don't know which one. But anyway, it didn't have anything in there at all. So I took a small piece of weed eater line and cut it about 1/8 inch long, put it down in the hole, and put the screw in there, and you know, it really pushed hard on it. So that froze it up there pretty good. So anyway, let's see if we can take this off. All right. There we go. And that's it. There's nothing to it. The EPT is right on this end because there's no air to push it to the other end. Although this is sealed with an O-ring, they do have this on there pretty tight. Now, you have to degas this gun. You have to. You don't have a choice. If you don't degas this end of this gun, and you grab this thing with a crescent wrench and start trying to unscrew it, as soon as it comes off of the threads, you're going to get a blast of air. That O-ring's all that seals it. You're going to get a blast of air out of this end, and the EPT valve is literally being pushed from the air in this end, being pushed up against this. It's, you know, not advisable. I would degas it. If you can see it, there it is. That's the little booger right there. We're going to try to get it out. That's what it looks like. Right there. So give me a minute to get this thing out of here. Yeah, this is going to be pushed out. I was afraid of it. So, I'm going to take that end off. And take a plastic ramrod. That was really snug. Not moving. There it is. Very snug fitting. I don't know if any of you have heard this thing when you first air them up. You hear a kind of a pop or something. Anyway, this thing is really snug in there at one end. And it'd be this end when it's empty. And when you start airing this thing up, it starts pushing the air in it like that. You know, it starts moving. Anyway, this thing gets a lot of pressure behind it, and then it goes dong. It kind of moves, makes a funny sound. So anyway, I don't imagine, with what I'm guessing to be right around 1,000 psi, maybe a little more, 1,000 pounds of air in this end. This thing pushed up against it with, you know, that'd be 1,000 pounds of this down here, like the factory filled it with 1,000 pounds. So when you start pumping it and you're putting pressure in it, if you got 3,000 this side, you got 3,000 on this side. It's squishing all this air up in here. So anyway, it squishes it up there like that. And you cannot squish this all the way down to the end and use all this air tube, right? That 1,000 pounds that's in here will not compact down to nothing. I'm assuming this thing's stopping somewhere in this vicinity here. So that's how much air you pretty much lose from the end of this plug to wherever this fitting goes in. It's about how much airspace you lose in the tube. So anyway, we're going to see if we can pick up a few shots with this thing. And just in case any of you are wondering why these things keep leaking oil right here, see that wet spot? That's from my finger touching this stuff. I'm going to show you what came out of that plug on the floor. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a puddle of oil that just came out of that tube with that plug. So they're lubricated plenty. That's how come you keep seeing puffs of oil come out everywhere. This thing has got quite a bit of oil in it from the factory. Can't say they didn't get chintzy with the oil. And if you hear that pinging noise as this brass plug is moving when you're filling from empty, filling it up, you can hear it go dong, dong, dong. Anyway, if you can hear that, it's not because that thing's dry at all. It's just because it's very, very tight fitting inside the air tube. So I'm going to put this thing back together. I know you don't want to watch me do that. The reverse assembly. And we'll see if we can't get some shots with a chronograph. I don't know if I can do it tonight. Pitch black out. And maybe we have to do that tomorrow. Anyway. Just wanted to get this in here. That's the little BB that goes under that screw that you drop down in the barrel band right there and tighten the screw down. If you don't feel any resistance when you're tightening the screw down, that little BB is probably not big enough doing its job. In which case, a really short piece of weed eater line down in the hole will do just as good, and probably tighten up that barrel band to hold the shroud so it doesn't twist on you. Anyway. Alright, this is going to be the test without the EPT system. We got it right at 3,000, as close as I can get to exactly 3,000. And this time I've got the chronograph hooked up to my other smartphone, so you should be able to hear the velocity. Let's get started. Or not. Oh well, we'll just have to review the chronograph. Alright, there's 10. I'm gonna call that right at 2,000. Looks like we got one left in the magazine. So that was 19 shots. And let's review the... Can't really get a shot on it. Don't look like the chronograph picked up all of them. Or did it? What the hell's going on here? There we go. Can't really. It's too bright out here. You have to quit there. I can't even see through the phone what I'm looking at in the chronograph. But anyway, just from a 2,000 or a 3,000 psi fill down to a 2,000 psi fill, looks like we gained 2 shots. So the next time I'm fixing to go, I guess we're gonna fill it a little higher, or maybe just start off at 3 because it's starting off pretty slow in the feet per second. So maybe we'll shoot it down to 1,500 or something and see if we can see how many more shots it picks up as the velocity starts to increase, because that looks like it doesn't start picking up good until right around 2,200 psi. That's kind of just what my other one did, and this one hasn't had any hammer spring adjustment or anything, just removed the little brass plug that was in it. So from a 1,000 psi test from 3,000 down to 2,000, looks like it picked up 2 shots. And I think that if we use that in the usable range, you know, say 2,500 down to 1,200 or 1,000, wherever the feet per second starts dropping off at again, once we get a good shot curve out of it, I think it's going to pick up quite a bit of shots. Anyway, food for thought.